Hello, hello, hello. This is Lisa Harris with My Creative Pursuits, and I'd like to welcome you to this late night edition of Scraps and Stash Saturday. Today is National Scrapbook Day, and I hope you've had a chance to do something scrapbook related this weekend, even if it's just getting out and enjoying the weather and maybe snapping a spring picture or two. If you're new to Scraps and Stash Saturday, what normally happens is I pick out a kit entirely from my stash at the beginning of the new month, then work with that kit all throughout the month to create as many layouts as I can, hopefully with little to nothing left over. This month, I'm doing things a little differently. I've joined the Layout a Day Challenge, and I'll be attempting to keep up with it throughout the month of May and sharing my layouts here and on my blog at the end of each week. Now, full disclosure time. I have recently added quite a bit to my stash. Last weekend, I attended a local charity crop to benefit the homeless shelter in a neighboring town, and I won quite a bit of scrappy goodness from the raffles at the event. In all, I'd say I've added about 6 or 7 6x6 pads, 40 or so sheets of pattern paper, some brads, buttons, and stick pins, a pack of stamps, and several rolls of ribbon, twine, and some other trims. I've also done a little bit of bargain shopping at Tuesday morning, where I picked up some thickers, studio calico flare, and crepe paper metal rim tags. And a recent trip to Hobby Lobby brought a few more sheets of thickers and some Pebbles mini alphas. What can I say? I needed to restock those. In any case, I did want to put it out there that I've added to my stash, and I'll be including those additions in this and future projects for Scraps and Stash Saturday. So, speaking of projects, let's get on with them, shall we? The load challenge started on Thursday. The prompt was in the news, and I studied on this idea all day. I first thought I'd scrapbook about Hurricane Katrina and had a layout mostly planned out in my mind by the time I got home from school, but when I sat down to actually scrap, things just weren't coming together for me. There was a particular piece of memorabilia I wanted to include and couldn't find. What I did find was one of those books that publishers sometimes put out that show lots of interesting and fun facts from the year you were born. I found this really ironic advertisement, and the page just took off from there. I collected the supplies you see in the photo: October afternoon scraps, stickers from Basic Gray's clippings line, a sheet of my Mind's Eye Good Day Sunshine pattern paper. That was from my raffle stash, a journaling card, thickers, and my Tuesday morning flare finds. The finished page is called Mad Men, and the ad was one promoting the weight loss benefits of eating sugar. The journaling is all about how my mom sure seemed to heed this advice, but her cooking was still always delicious. Prompt number 2. Friday's prompt was to scrap about your childhood room. I found a couple pictures in my mom's old photos and scanned and reprinted them. I gathered pattern papers from my raffle bag, pink gingham paper with a doily print on the A side, and blue dot paper, again from the Good Day Sunshine collection. I found some butterflies I'd previously cut out, a printed journaling card, a doily, and a snippet of pink ribbon, all from one of my embellishment boxes. Then I chose some thickers for the title work. And the resulting layout is called That 70s Room. The journaling lists lots of items you would have found in my room, including a Holly Hobby bedspread and curtains, a Dukes of Hazzard poster, and many other things. And also explains how I never seem to inherit the organization gene that so many other people seem to naturally have. The third prompt, today's prompt, was all about games. Again, I found some photos from my mom's collection and reprinted them. I chose a pattern paper from my raffle bag, along with Simple Stories 6x8 This and That paper, a Bo Bunny Misk Me journal page, thickers, mini alphas, and wood grain chipboard hearts. And the page I created is called The Games We Played. The journaling tells the story of how being the youngest of a large family was lonely a lot of the time, but when all my brothers and sisters would come for Sunday dinner, we would spend the afternoon playing games and just enjoying each other's company. So that's it for this week's Scraps and Stash Saturday. What are you doing to work through your stash? Are you also taking the Layout a Day challenge? I'd love to see what you've got going on. Leave me a comment below or on my blog at mycreativepursuits.com. That's creative with a K. See you next week.